Hey guys, Crafty here from Living in Beta, and today we've got a quick video for you that I think is important to put out there. I know a lot of people in the Cyberpunk community have probably already spoken about this, and there is other guides out there, but I think just for my community, I just wanted to go through a few things around how to reroll stats on legendary items and items in general, how many mod slots are supposed to be on items, depending on location on the body, um, yeah, and a couple of other armor things, just minor little details that I think could be helpful when farming legendary items or, in general, going about your day in Cyberpunk. Yeah, short, sweet video, but let's get into it. Okay, so first let's talk about mod slots on items. Your character as a whole is broken down into head, upper body, lower body. There is obviously special there as well. I know the class is head, upper body, lower torso, and special. Yeah. Now, any item that's in the upper body slots are able to get four uh, mod slot options, as you can see on my items here. Anything in head uh, sections can only get three maximum, and lower body can only get three too. Now, it's important to note that because when looking at items, purchasing items in stores, or finding legendary items in game, you want to try, depending on how much you're into min-maxing, you want to try to make sure it's got enough mod slots on that item to be the best version of that item possible. You, of course, when picking up an item, also usually get given mods inside the item, but overall, you can purchase mods throughout the game. So my advice is always make sure, if you can, to have four mod slots in upper body and then three everywhere else. Now, I hear you asking, how do we even do that? Which is the whole point, right? How do we get the maximum amount of mod slots when you pick up an item? Well, there's a couple of ways that you can do this on items themselves. So I have a legendary item here, which will go into the location on a different video. But this is part of the Nomad set in game. Now you see, this item, luckily for myself, has come with three mod slots out the box, which is the maximum amount of mod slots you can get on a head item. And also, very luckily, it's come with an increased crit chance of by 12% mod, which is one of the best mods you can get in the game, in my opinion. Now, say I didn't like this item with those mod slots, or even say I didn't, obviously that would be silly, but or say I didn't like the mods that are in that item, and I was not only feeling lucky that I'd still keep the three mod slots, but I also was feeling luckier because I thought I could increase the mods that were given for free. Then what you would do is you would save the game, just quick save the game, and then you would load that game back up, and when the game loads in, what it does is it resets the loot table in the open world of the game. Now this can cause a couple of things to happen. It will not only re-roll the stats on items in terms of mods, but also mod slots on legendary items or any items in game. So as you can see here, this item now only has one mod slot with a completely different mod that was inside that slot compared to the previous version that you saw. Secondly, there'll be some purple items out there in the game that have a small chance to be promoted to legendary quality. You'll see a lot of videos out there on YouTube right now where there'll be 70, 80, 90, 100 legendary items in Cyberpunk, which in theory is true, but at least 10% of those items will be base purple and have a chance to go to legendary. With if the loot table in game allows it. So it's important to note that as well. But it's very simple, as I stated, to be able to re-roll these stats. So if I didn't like that at all, didn't like the mods in it, didn't like the mod slots, then you would just go straight back to that save file again, and then just keep reloading until you're happy with the item you've got. It's very simple, and I guess save scumming is not always appreciated in games. But I think if you're going to min-max in a single player game, then this is the best way to do so. As I said just before, just to show you again, you'll go back to the item now, and now it has 0 mod slots on it, which is obviously the worst case scenario. Now, I have read other places and also watched a few videos stating that if you run, I don't know, let's put a marker down just for reference on this place here. Okay, I can't, but okay, let's just say we run 100 meters away from this location, and then run back. It's supposed to despawn the item in that area, and then when you run back into that area, it should respawn the item with, you know, fresh piece with fresh mod slots, etc. Now, I'll be honest with you, I've done this a couple of times, and it hasn't made any changes. The simplest and quickest way, in my opinion, is just to do the save scumming or reloading to make sure that item is in the best way possible for yourself. I think there's also one last thing to mention, that this can also be beneficial. Let's just double check while we're here. Oh, it did work. It did. So there you go. It despawned and spawned in with 2 mod slots now and different mods in those slots. So that can work. It's actually the first time it's worked for me. So there you go. Yeah, there's one last thing to mention. There is a perk in your character stats here. I think it's in tech, where you can. I think when you let me just find it a second. Sorry for this. Yeah, so here. So waste not, want not. You can also get this when you're level 16 technical ability, which allows you to get the mods back off the item that you're disassembling. Sorry. Now, with this ability of reloading and loading in or running away and running back, you could actually do this if you were being really finicky. You could do this on other items too, just to make sure you get the most bang for your buck on mods before disassembling those items. I wouldn't recommend it. You get so many mods in game, and if you're like myself, you'll eventually find an armor set that you appreciate. You know, I may change a couple of things trying to find a new jacket, but you're going to find one that you like, and then you'll do your best to fill up those with the best slots you can, just from mods in game. But again, the vendors themselves don't always have the ones you need, right? So it's important to make use of this what you will. It's up for debate whether it's the correct way to play Cyberpunk or not, but it's a very simple way to make the item the best for you. And my advice always is, you play a single player game in the way you want to, and if you want to min-max instead of relying on RNG, this is the best way to do so. But yeah, that's it. Just a quick, small little guide / tips video. Thank you for watching as always. Throw a like and share the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more content like this. And remember, don't be a gonk.